boxing news, and I am live. It is the time to reflect on the reflection video of the fight last night. Actually, we had two fights. We had Matias versus what's Rayo's name? Matias fought, stopped his opponent, and we also had Russell fighting the guy with the same name, which is actually kind of crazy. I can't remember it right now. But welcome, guys. Happy Sunday to everybody. Let's start the show with the reflection video of probably one of the supposed upsets of the year as of right now. The very underachieved, little known Lamont Roach came in and showed why cherry picks can go wrong on so many levels. And that's what happens when you assume that fights are going to go a certain way based on box rec. You know, you can't base someone's skill set on who beat them. You can't base because, the triangle theories of how you feel that fighters have no business winning or losing to these fighters. Therefore, what do they have to do with me? You shouldn't have that idea. You should never have that mindset because that's the type of mindset that gets people's ass whooped. Let's just be real. They get beat. People get beat just like Gervonta Tank Davis did yesterday. And Davis, he took too much time. I don't know what he was really waiting on. Maybe the perfect shot or the right opportunity to pounce with his explosiveness and stuff like that. But I tell you, Lamont Roach boxed a very careful boxing match last night. He did. The boxing match that he put on was almost like, okay, this is boring. But he was being cautious because he was waiting to do very heavy damage on the inside. Let's just be real. I think that Roach won the fight for many reasons. He outboxed him. What's your take on Patty versus Lewis? Patty versus Lewis. I don't know who that is, honestly. Pokemon 685. Who is that? I didn't see that fight yesterday. Lewis Crocker versus Patty Donovan. I didn't see it yesterday. I heard that the fight was on, but I didn't see it. I didn't get a chance to watch it, so I couldn't tell you. But I heard it was a good fight, though. So, I did a live stream earlier yesterday, and then I did the one last night for Gervonta Tank Davis. And I'm impressed and I'm disappointed. I'm impressed with Lamont Roach. I'm impressed with his drivenness, his focus, and his refusal to hear anybody say what he can't do. Because a lot of these fighters, even Frank Martin, the Ghost, was already intimidated by that time the fight started. And let's just face it, everyone that Gervonta fought, they were just smaller guys that they forced them to move up. St. Don in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Yeah, it's clear as day Roach won. Yeah, Roach beat Tank, bro. And he beat Tank not only in fighting Tank. He beat him, he outboxed him, he outpointed him, and he outworked him. So those are three categories. The pressure was there, the counterpunching was there. There was not times, and listen, Davis actually landed some good shots, but they weren't, and they did not have the impact that Roach's shots had on Gervonta versus Gervonta's punches and how he reacted to Tank's punches. He didn't really react like that. He took some good shots. Like he said, I have a good chin. And he has to have a good chin to take the explosive shots of Tank. Because Tank will sit in there and he'll get low, then all of a sudden he might shoot one, But then he may come over with a shot like he caught Ryan Garcia with, dropping that boy. You know, Zhang Wei 3.0. Do you think do you think Keyshawn beats Tank? I think if Tank ever fights Keyshawn, it depends on when. Understand, the further that fight goes along, the better it is for Keyshawn. You know, let's say it's in 3 years, which is kind of, I think in 3 years, the fight will probably be over talked. It'll be built up too much. Sometimes these fights just, we have talked so much about certain fights that never happen. The usual suspects, Joshua versus Wilder. People get sick of hearing about that. Keith versus Thurman. People got so sick of hearing about Keith versus Thurman. You know, Kell Brook versus Amir Khan. Even though they fought 3 years ago. They fought around this time 3 years ago. However, what happened? By the time they fought, it had lost all of its steam almost. Unless it had a small following as far as a local following. But abroad, when you had two guys that just happened to come from the same country, fight each other in, let's say, Madison Square Garden, that would have made more buzz. But it didn't. Mama Lou, counterpunch to you. Do you reckon Big Turkeys is going to come in and try to bid for the rematch trilogy? Are we talking about Bivol versus Beterbiev? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. He probably could. I don't think that there's a desire though for Turkey to want to do that. I think everyone thought, well, not everyone, because I thought Beterbiev beat Bivol by this much. Not this much, but this much. Because I think Bivol tried to coast and tried to, he had a false sense of what he thought and where he thought he was at on the scorecards. So therefore he tried to coast and it cost him because Beterbiev continued, you know, beating him and punching his ass around the ring, which caused it and perceived that he was the dominant force and he was the effective aggressor, and he was the one that deserved the nod, which he got the first time. But now Bivol has showed you he can up the ante. He hit that fourth gear where he didn't have a fourth gear last time, and he showed Artur Beterbiev that, damn, you're kind of old. Bars. You know what I mean? Because, like, one thing I noticed about Artur last week, Artur it was like he got tired of chasing. And really, he didn't even cut off the ring. He just kind of followed him. You know, you're supposed to cut off the ring, working the body. If Artur Beterbiev worked the body more, he would be more successful with someone that has the footwork like Bivol. So if they fought again, I would want to see what Bivol does. If he goes head hunting like he did before, I don't think he'll beat Bivol again. I think Bivol will get him again because Artur has a bad habit. He's so accustomed to using these strong punches, and they're short punches. They're punches like this. Now, every so often, he may chop with one of those shots, or he may come over the top with one of them, or he may go wide with his shots. But most of the time, his punches are that short. And then they are so strong because the bastard conditions himself so much. And he's, you know what I mean? I don't know. And maybe the rest is innateness, genetically. But Artur has these 4-inch punches. And the punches hurt. And over time, they batter you. I mean, look at Bivol's face 1 and 2. They both were jacked up. Both times, Bivol has never went and left out of that fight with Beterbiev, along with everyone else that he stopped, like he went in. Bivol's face was jacked up just like Artur Beterbiev's face. So yes, them boys, they fight. They don't play over there in Eastern Europe. They don't. I know Beterbiev lives in Canada. He's from Russia too. Spare me. Okay. Bivol will win again as Artur has aged, like you say. Yeah, because it was a point where he was just like, he was trying to keep up, and it was just like, Bivol he was like Bruce Lee, bro. He was there. He was in the zone, man. Bivol was in the zone. He was just, and then he kept moving. He was in the zone. No doubt about it. At 41, Artur can't get any better. I don't think so. Kurt, who wins? Terrence Crawford versus Aaron Pryor fantasy matchup. Let me finish. Let me finally respond to this, because I've heard you say that. Aaron Pryor smaller. I think 140, because it has to be a 140. I don't know, because you got a guy with one loss. I don't know. I have no idea. But a third fight, I don't think that Artur will get any better. And in fact, I think the best Artur that we've seen was a fight that he won that he did not stop his opponent. And that was the first fight. I don't see him getting any better. I see him, in fact, doing the opposite. And here's the thing. I think Artur, does he deserve one? Yeah. Because this wasn't an AJ versus Andy, then an Andy versus AJ. This wasn't that type of fight. Because Anthony Joshua just showed, hey, let me outbox him. Let me not try to knock him out. And I'll be fine, and I can box for 12 rounds. And, there's no warrant for a rematch. This fight was still close, because Beterbiev is dangerous. Now, am I taking away the fact that he would be less dangerous? No, because he always will be dangerous. He always will be dangerous. We will see Tank and Saudi. Gervonta, Lamont. That's what I meant, brother. Facts. Well, Tank got beat last night. Everybody knows it. You know what? I look at people and I understand, like, people, they have a job to do. We have American boxing channels that kind of thrive on the last remaining stars or important fighters in the U.S., and Tank is one of them. Tank, Canelo, Benavidez is kind of farther down, but he is sought after now. But people, you can hear them in the post-press conference, and they're like, oh, I just want to thank you for, the things that you've done in the sport, and you make the sport this way. I'm like, dude, y'all stop that shit. No, he don't. Tank Tank, if you see Tank do what Tank does, Tank has listened to his handlers. His handlers give him fights to make it appear that he's better than he is. See, you remember when he knocked out Leo Santa Cruz? Okay, he knocked out Leo Santa Cruz, but was Leo Santa Cruz his weight naturally, normally? No. So that step, pow, that feint, and that slip and that left uppercut that knocked out Leo Santa Cruz. Everyone looked at that. Everyone looked at that as oh man, what a dynamic knockout. It's supposed to be dynamic because you knocked out a guy not in your weight class. You knocked out a guy moving up in weight. You knocked him out. And that being said, someone like Leo Santa Cruz, he's busy as he was. That fight could have, honestly, I think Leo could have beat Tank. He could have beat Tank. But the problem was he got too greedy, because he was throwing rights and throwing those right hand leads, and he gave Tank exactly what Tank wanted, a counter opportunity. And Tank took it. Tank finally stepped and bow, it was over with. And he was doing it anyway. I think he didn't respect Tank's punching power, but he knocked that boy out cold. But understand, that guy, Leo Santa Cruz, was coming up from 126. He's the guy that had the war with, was it Frampton? Was it Carl Frampton? Flow State. Yeah, Frampton. Yeah. Kurt, who wins? Okay, we got that. Okay, when you guys come in, hit that like button. We got 50 people in here. Hit the like button, peeps. But Lamont Roach, he got beat by Jamel Herring. Jamel Herring has 5 losses. They saw that, and they immediately thought, this is our opponent. Get him, send him a contract, and let's go. And I'm glad this happened, because you look at Tank, and Tank was talking about retiring. Tank was talking about going to an island. Tank was getting all androgynous. Wasn't Tank getting androgynous, though? He was all androgynous. He was just, sitting on a damn bean bag with his feet up and, with makeup on. Bro, that was makeup. I don't care what you say. I don't care about the straight hair. That's fine and dandy. But that was makeup that dude was wearing. And the question you ask yourself, is a boxer with makeup normal? And the answer is yes, it is. You know what I mean? Because if you are a fighter and, like, let's say you're taking a picture, you may not want to see an abrasion right there that you picked up from a left hook from some leather gloves. So, it is what it is. Let's see. All right. Yeah, this thing is tripping. Because you guys have been sending, Jesus. Okay, what do you think of Elon Musk? Elon Musk, billionaire. Most billionaires are kind of weird to me. But billionaire, Tesla, X. Powerful. That can be dangerous, or it can be a blessing too. So, is it okay? Must just be empty-headed. It's okay. You must be empty-headed. His name is Robert Paulson. Is it possible for Turkey to come and make a bid for Tank Lamont rematch? You know what? If it happens, I think it should be snatched from Al Heyman. I think Al Heyman shouldn't be in control of any of this shit anymore. I think Al Heyman's time has came to end. I do believe that. You know why I believe that? Did I believe that when he started? No, I was the one that defended PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, Fox, Showtime, because it was an opportunity to see more fights, and they had a gang of new talent, which they actually extracted from Golden Boy. But what did they get a reputation for doing? They got a reputation for fighting in their own, fighting in these kind of isolated fighting stables, and then it was always someone that was outside of that they could never make a fight with. In fact, they got to the point where they couldn't make fights for themselves. Does Bivol go the Ruiz route after getting all these belts, or does he generate bigger will to fight? I'm not sure. You got the bitch tits like Meatloaf in Fight Club. Who the hell is Meatloaf? Huh. Yeah. All right. Who do you favor with Bivol versus Benavidez? I'll go with Bivol. I mean, I don't see, and David's good, but I don't think he's better than Bivol. I just don't think he's better than Bivol, especially the size Bivol is. Because if you have problems and issues with Vosnik, you're going to have really big problems with Bivol. You know, bro, I could take on 4 guys at the same time. At the same time. Cool. Custard and chips. Charles Martin versus Moses Atoma happening. Thought it would. Yeah, I heard it would. Hold on a second. Okay, Crawford with the upset. Okay, let's see. Um, Kurt last night was a robbery in boxing. Yes, it was. Um, the robbery itself was almost, it was a blessing too, you know, because at least we know about what's like what to expect from Roach, and I think Tank does too. But what I think is weird about Tank is showing us though that he's not made like other fighters. You know what I mean? Like Tank's not made like other fighters. Like Floyd. Floyd, for example, when he fought Castillo, when he fought Maidana, those fights were close if they were close enough, if they were debatable. If you think the other fighter won, he rematched it immediately. Last night, this dude's talking like, "Oh, I will want that fight, yeah, but I don't think it's happening. It ain't gonna be this year." And I'm thinking, why wouldn't it be this year? Who else do you have to fight? Who would you have? Like, who else? I mean, unless it was a mandatory that he'd have to take care of. That would be the only reason. But him saying like I don't know, and then the problem was, are you responding based on what someone told you, or are you just saying that because that's what you feel? I don't know. DJ Anton, big love from South Wales. Counterpunch to you. Isaac Cruz deserves a rematch. No, I don't think Isaac Cruz deserves a rematch. I don't. I'm not one of those guys. I saw that damn fight. Tank had an injured hand, and he beat. You let a one-armed man beat you. And this is what I think about Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz is a very exciting fighter. I would rather see Pitbull fight someone like Nick Ball. Someone fresh. Damn a rematch with Tank. Tank has his own problems. I didn't think Pitbull beat Tank. I didn't. I just didn't see that. I seen a one-handed guy throwing that left from the rear hand and beating his man. That's what I saw. I don't think we are realizing how small Tank himself is. Like he's a natural 130 pounder in reality. No, he's probably about 140. He just did not like the challenge at 140. That's why. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, so I don't think we are realizing. Okay, all right. So Tank is about 140. Tank is a guy that because he hits hard enough for 140. Obviously, look what he did to Mario Barrios. I think he should have stayed there. I think Tank should have stayed there. Therefore, he didn't though. He went back to 135. That's when I started looking at him differently because when he was at 140, I'm like, cool, he's at 140 now. So he's where Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and probably Ryan Garcia should be, honestly. Ryan Garcia is all over the place with what he's talking about. I don't know. But he went backwards. So, but I mean, he already showed us that he can compete at a weight class that he decided and refused to stay in. So when anyone does stuff like that, you got to start looking at them in a certain way. Like, I don't know if this is the way to go. I don't know if this is the thing to do. Just got here. So who you think won the fight? Terry Harris. The fight was an injustice because of how it was refereed, how it was officiated. The fight itself between Tank and Roach still outlanded him. He out-hustled him. He landed the harder shots. And thus, him having a good chin did not help Tank because, see, Tank's tough, but Tank depends on guys not being tougher than him. His name is Tank. It ain't because he got a big head. The bastard can take shots, too. He's a very fair-complected dude. Regardless of the tats and all that shit, he has fair skin. So if you do touch him, you're going to see him, you're going to see cuts, you're going to see whelps, you're going to see abrasions, you're going to see swells. You're going to see those things with Tank when he gets hit. That being said, he was able to take Tank shots. Tank, on the other hand, took his shots as well, but with a surprise. Because he was thinking like, okay, I could take this guy's shots, but understand, this ain't the amateurs. So he was getting stunned with his punches, and he's thinking to himself like, oh shit, I gave this guy a good left hand, the same left hand that dropped Ryan Garcia, but it didn't drop Lamont Roach, did it? No, Lamont Roach caught it, but then he caught it and came back and punched him and countered him and gave him something to think about. Like, not only can I take your shot, I can give you one that damages you more than your punch you thought damaged me. You see? So, no, I think that Tank got beat all around. Now, it was an injustice on how it was refereed. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. Steve Willis, he is hilarious because he's more like that guy that gets in there and he's looking, he's looking, and he's looking at the fight as a referee and as a fan because he loves the sport of boxing. It would be some shit that I know I'm like, damn, wait, you can't do that. You know what I mean? I would be one. In fact, I was actually thinking about when I get older, being a referee, probably 50. You know what I mean? 6-7 years down the road, that would be dope. But fam, salute. Roach got robbed. Banjoia, yeah, he did. Gervonta tends to lose rounds until he lands. Well, that's another thing. He does fight in spots. Since Tank fights in spots, that's bad for him because normally Tank doesn't need to do anything else but fighting spots because when he lands that right hook or that straight overhand left or that left uppercut or that right to the body or that straight left to the body, he's hurting something. He's doing damage. He's damaging someone when he does that. So he can go back and catch you with that left, bop, and he catches you. When he catches that person, he'll get that smile because he knows I got him where I want him. So I don't have to do this. And this is round 4. Okay, round 6, I may be able to knock this dude out. And he may play around and lose round 5. But in this case, if you're in a guy that's durable, that can take your shots, that's motivated, that's focused, that's giving you damage like you are accustomed to giving other fighters damage, we got a problem, Houston. Houston, we got a problem. Because he's taking time off trying to figure him out, trying to touch, trying to move, trying to touch, trying to move. But at the same time, Lamont is scoring. Lamont is outlanding. And Lamont is hurting Tank Davis while he's taking his time, taking time off, which that's what he's accustomed to doing, fighting in spots, trying to figure things out, where Lamont is constantly beating him. And back to Willis. Willis, he was right there. He's an in-your-face, very proactive, interactive referee. Interactive referees know they take their job aggressively. When you're an interactive referee, Kenny Bayless was an interactive referee. He's one of those guys, hey, he jumps in the middle. He's one of those guys that'll quickly to get physical or to get aggressive when it comes to refereeing a fight. You know what I mean? He's literally the third guy in the ring, literally. Some guys, like Richard Steele, his motto is, hey, if you're in a clinch, punch yourself to get out. You don't need me to keep pushing you guys apart. That fight should be natural. It's natural to clinch at times. You know what I mean? At times, not all the time. Not excessively, but sometimes. So when you're doing that, you can work yourself out, grab, punch, then, work yourself out though, and then start anew. Then if he needs to, if it's too much of that grab ass and shit, they can then separate each other. But Steve Willis is an interactive ref, saying that to say this. He's seen the amount of times that Davis went low, right to the hip, uppercut to the ball sack, straight right, or should I say, right jab to the shaft, to the sword, right? He's seen that 3 or 4 times, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm, and I would say that he was over lenient, because Roach was like, "Dude, what's this dude's problem?" And I think that was a part of the protection plan, because he could have and should have deducted something. The knockdown. This is the most controversial thing in the whole fight. He jabs Tank, right? He jabs Tank, Tank goes back. Tank takes a knee. And then when Tank takes a knee, he goes and runs to his corner it was almost for refuge, for counsel. And I think this is what it was about. He took the knee. That's by itself a knockdown. Everyone knows that. That's no secret. That's not something where people are like, you know what? I wonder if certain refs or what refs would name it or rule it a knockdown versus others. It wasn't a slip. He did that by his own admission. If he would have slipped down, that's one thing. After taking a shot and he slips on a knee or his glove hit the canvas. That wasn't what it is, people, or what it was. He got punched because what Lamont did, Lamont was taking that jab, and he jabbed him. And when Davis saw it, he went back and he took a knee. The ref started counting. But the officials, and I've never seen this, I have never seen a situation where the officials don't count with the referee, where the officials don't rule it as a knockdown, as they can clearly see it was a knockdown. Okay, that is something that I think if I'm Team Roach, I would fight. I would investigate in, because there would be no reason why I jab a guy after hitting him. He takes a knee. The ref counts it, and it does not count as a score for me. I just don't see that. I'm sorry. So, Tank, not like Wilder, because he usually starts to pick people off with counters, shots to slowly take rounds. No, he's not like Wilder at all. You know, Tank actually has skill. I just think this is what I think. I think Tank knew the plot. I think Tank understood what people did for him. I think Tank was comfortable doing what he normally does. What does he normally do? He fights who the fuck they tell him to fight. And he gets paid a lot of money to do it. Period. Tank obeys the superiors. That's what he does. Now, he may try to get out of line and may be rebellious, and he'll say subliminal messages and he'll post them on Twitter or YouTube, social media or whatever, right? But then you see later on, he will take that down. He will take it down like it never happened. But the beauty about people that see what Tank does, they're going to wonder why the hell he did that. Let's screenshot this and let's discuss it in another forum. Because by the time he gets in, thinks about it, I don't know if he was drunk. I don't know if he was smoking weed. I don't know if he felt a certain type of way at that time. But he eventually erases it. He erases what was said, about whoever. Because he never addresses anyone directly. He never does that. Tank was smoking gas too. Yeah, he was smoking weed and shit. So I'm like, well, how are these dudes smoking all this weed and blazing and all this shit without popping dirty? That's on the banned substance list. Last I heard. Whatever. Oscar likes more than makeup. The facts of the matter is Roach studied Tank down to the core. Yeah. But I also know that Tank has always been an athletic fighter. He's been physically gifted as a fighter. That explosiveness, I think, comes with the package of being, very athletic. You know what I mean? The dude is more like a damn leopard. He's like a leopard. He's able to pounce. He's able to respond. He has a fast twitch. Like Roach said, he's twitchy. Tank be twitching. But seriously, yes. That is a AI robot. Via all electric cars suck, period. Floyd could probably beat Tank. Still, honestly, I think no, he can't beat him now. No. Floyd is living his life. Shakur don't have the punching power of Roach and is arguably an easier fighter. Well, the thing is, Tank won't respect Shakur Stevenson. He won't respect him, and everybody and their mom knows that Shakur Stevenson has bad hands. So even if he wanted to, he would probably hurt his hands trying to inflict damage with the punches, trying to, to create power behind them. He'll probably end up breaking something or re-damaging or further damaging something. How much do you think Calvin not being in his corner mattered? I don't know. I have no idea. Calvin was in his corner. Stop making excuses. I've seen him in there. I've seen him at the press conference. Tank ain't like that for real. Okay. Caballo versus Usyk. Good fight. I didn't sleep last night after what I saw. Damn, Andrew. Was it that bad? I slept like a baby. I slept like a baby. I'm not going to lie. KD watched the fight 3 times. Tank 4 rounds max. Roach 8 rounds. Timothy Thomas. Hey, 8-4, 8 rounds to 4. So he gonna fight Keith Thurman next. Keith will take that fight. I think Keith now would need the money. His wife in Nepal, because I think Keith has a nice house in Nepal with the family. Somebody's staying in that damn house in Nepal, and I think he bought a house there for him or for her family. And when they come there, that's where they stay with that family that stays in that damn house while they're not there and they're over in Florida chilling. Tank gave up way too much real estate to the wrong fighter. Ryan also is a cokehead and wasn't prepared. Ricky Torres, Lamont Roach and Joseph Parker going to be back, of gonna go into the back of the line and weight boxing unfair sometimes. Ricky Torres, yep, yep. I mean, that's what's happening to Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker's not going to get a title shot. They're going to throw somebody else at him. That's what they've been doing the whole time. That's the whole point. Lamont Roach is one of those guys. He showed that I'm worthy. He showed with hard work, dedication, and focus, I can beat a guy that everybody says I can't. A guy that, yes, I know cherry picked me, but it don't matter because it's a cherry pick that went wrong, and I showed everybody that it can happen. That's why you shouldn't cherry pick. Just fight the people that you know that you're going to get up for. Fight the people that they say that's good, but don't overlook people that people overlook. You understand? See, here's fighters that either don't get the opportunity. Lamont Roach is one of them. He was one of those guys. I ain't never heard of Lamont Roach before he fought Tank Davis. Never heard of him. I have now, though. That's the blessing. That's the silver lining. We learn about a guy that nobody talks about. Nobody talked about Lamont Roach. Let's do this. Let's try it on. Okay, cool. So, made a poll because I want to know that from you guys because this is just my opinion. Just my opinion. Okay. The hell? All right. Kurt, now you got white guys putting chicken grease in their hair to be cool. I don't know, man. Um, I think that was a bullshit excuse, though, honestly. I think that was a bunch of bullshit. Really, you never heard of a roach before? I've known about roach since 2018. I haven't. I haven't. Roach and Davis used to spar a lot. I remember Roach. See, here's the thing. Roach, I seen the backstory of Roach. I didn't know who Roach was. That just happened to Amanda Serrano. She had to cancel her fight on night of the fight because her braid oil was in her eyes. Fight Sports Talk. Big up Fight Sports Talk. Counterpunch to you. I never heard of him, bro. I'm sorry. I just never heard of him. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be rude. I just never heard of this guy. I'm from the UK and I heard of Roach, Mr. S. Okay. I have not. But I have now. But then again, like the people that they wanted to see him fight, we've all heard of them. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo, he beat Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, guys like that. Lomachenko, which he, needless to say, wanted to fight Loma after Loma, is like 36, 37 years age. Bro, just stop. Why you want to fight someone now that age? You didn't want to fight him when he was 30 and you was 23, 24. He didn't want to fight him then. Because why? Because he did what he was told. Because Floyd didn't want that to happen. DeVille being cheeky. You heard of Roach. Never heard of him. Do you think do you think Tank gonna rematch him? I don't think he wants to based on the way he responded. Well, I would like to, but I don't I don't think that's happening this year. Nah, you know. Okay, okay. Kurtz, what's better, chicken, pig, or fush grease for your hair? What's fush grease? What the hell is that? Unbiased Brim, you are a great representative of the good American boxing fan. You don't know as much about the lower weight classes, but don't front like you do. Well, don't. I can tell you this though. I used to be the fan of lower weight classes. Catch my ass 10 years ago. Catch me before the heavyweight division blew up. I can tell you about everybody from the Diddley Joe to damn if I know. The only difference is nobody's fighting no more. Nobody. Those guys have retired. They've been gone. I seen him box on TV before, but still a cherry pick gone bad. Yeah, they picked him. They picked him because they said, well, you know what, Jamel ain't as good as Tank, so yeah, let's pick him. And he lost to that guy. Ugh, let's get him. Let's show him out. Let's give him. Let's get him paid. Let's get this dude paid, bitch. But let's whoop up on him real good, real quick. Is it true there's paperwork on you for being a child molester? It's online. Alonzo Madera. Yeah, you can go, homie. I'm sick of shit like that. Like, I wish I could ban you. Roach has been improving every fight since Herring. I believe that. And again, I haven't heard of him. People saying Tank got exposed one bad night and people write you off. Well, I think this helps Tank. Now, how it helps Tank was talking about retiring. Now he's talking about, man, I'm going to fight 3 or 4 fights left. So that means you're not retiring. Because we don't know what will happen in those 3 or 4 fights. Yeah, I heard of Herring. Absolutely. Yeah, I did. Okay, look, 66% of the people said I did not know. 34% said it did. I'm just one of the bottom part. Right? Tank career is over. Either way, his hype is gone. I think it's time for him to prove himself. Not his hype is gone. That's more like a desire thing, Jose? But I think Tank now wakes up. I think this is his wake-up call. I think now he has something to prove. I think now he wakes up. I think now whatever the fuck he was doing before, he's not going to be doing that now. Because what I do see in Tank, I see potential in Tank. I just think that he was around the wrong influence of people like Floyd and telling him that you don't have to do this, son. You don't have to do that, son. Listen to Al Heyman and me, son. That's what you need to do. You need to listen to me. So it ain't nothing going to happen to you. But understand, they're not around no more. I know Floyd ain't. So Tank is like, you know what? He took that loss. He took an L last night. He knows that. He took an L last night. Kurt, click on the HOD user on this channel to ban them. They won't be able to comment. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Because man, like some people, man, I wish I could find outside, and just come to me, man, I'm the one that did that. I'm going to beat your fucking brains out. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that, I would love to find somebody. That's what I like. Online media creeps, they anger me. They like, you know what I mean? Like, let me take you somewhere and beat you to death type shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you are the type of people that you spend time to say stuff like that. And it's almost like, what type of mindset are you? Are you mental? Are you, do you want an ass whooping? Do you just do that to, because you have nothing to do in your life? It just pisses me off, bro. It really does. Yeah, man. Yeah. On Demon Time. Yeah. I kind of get that way, especially when we're talking about boxing, right? A sport, a violent sport. But, you got people that say stuff like that and you come out, I'm like, bro, you try to, Nah, it's almost like someone keying your car. It would be worth you keying the car you seeing. I would want them to do it just to catch them. You know, they call trolls. That's their job, is to piss you off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like to find a troll. You know, and you know. But anyway, if you know that you're looking at, you could tell LR is crispy fighter. If you know what you're looking at, you could tell Lamont Roach is a crispy fighter. What's a good check hook? Yeah, he showed, because I remember Tank nudged him with his shoulder, and when he did that, bow, he caught him and he didn't play with him. Man, let me tell you something. I wish Turkey would get this fight. I wish he could come and seize control of this fight. I just don't think he has the authority to. I just don't think he has it. I think Al Heyman, with who he has left, he's like Oscar De La Hoya before Canelo left, right? Because Oscar was very protective of Canelo because he knew that Canelo was a cash cow. He knew he was a very good fighter, but he knew he was marketable. But he also knew, like, this is really holding up Golden Boy. Canelo was holding Golden Boy, like, just holding him on his shoulders. He was holding them, and Oscar knew it. Allison is in the same position right now. He knows, like, I can't let go of Tank. I just lost Canelo to Turkey Al-Sheikh, to my competitor. So he ain't gonna let Tank go nowhere. Absolutely not. People shouldn't joke about things like, nah, they shouldn't. That's why, like, because it's like, for you talking about it, it makes me suspicious that maybe you are about that type of shit if you're always talking about that. You know what I mean? It's almost like someone that always cracks gay jokes. Maybe you're gay. Nothing against gay people, but maybe you are because you talk about that subject so much. But anyway. That's the cringe, though. Yeah. Joseph Parker versus I get Caballero next. I believe that. They're going to throw those guys at each other. They're going to help them eliminate each other so they won't be a problem for other people. And the same people that they're worried about being a problem for are people that are more popular. There, I said it. It's crazy. Roach did better than all of the Tank's opponents, and he's not even in the weight class. That says something about the competition in lightweight. I mean, they always do that. Tank is in some secret club shit, low-key secret society. I mean, the dude was at a Diddy party. Devin Haney was too. And, Diddy saw him. He picked him up like he was one of his kids. Come here, baby. Come here, man. Come here, daddy. He was like, whoa. Diddy one of them demagogues. Roach looked way bigger than Tank. Yeah, he did. He did look bigger than Tank. It looked like somebody that he was fighting that he wasn't. He looked like he was fighting a 140-pounder. If Tank was still with Floyd, Mayweather Promotions would still have some. That fight still would still have happened last night. It would have. It went wrong. I mean, he followed the path. See, he's learned. He's trained. He's educated now. Like, look, I'm not going to fight that guy. I'm going to fight this guy. I never knew Roach, but he may be he has my attention now. He does. Tank is literally a midget. Tank is 5'5". 5'5" is probably like here. Right? Yeah, 5'5". Yeah. Tank's about this tall. It's crazy. You know? How did you think Tank matches up against Shakur and Devin? I think he beats them both. I just think, here's my thing on Tank. I want to see how Tank can improve on someone that he is not going to overlook or not going to think that that's just a cherry pick. So, he's not taking it seriously. I wonder what he's going to do at this point. But he's not even the next guy he's going to fight, which I find that very suspicious because he's talking like, nah, he ain't going to be the next fighter. He's not going to be the next fighter. I don't think he's going to be the next fighter. I want him to be, but he ain't going to be the next fighter, So that's what he said last night in the post-press conference. Nah, he ain't going to be the next fighter, But then it's crazy. Like, those reporters were so busy kissing his ass. I'd be like, why not? Is somebody else is going to, are you going to fight anyone else? Oh, he'll be mad. Like, dude, that counterpunch, man, don't bring that motherfucker back in, man. Don't even, no. When I see the little CP circle, I don't even want to see him. I don't even want to see him, man. He be asking all kind of bullshit questions and shit, man. I ain't got time for that shit. Yeah, he would get pissed. After last night, Lomachenko, I'm putting all my money on him to win against Tank. The problem with Loma, though, if Loma, I know, could put a performance together, he would probably still end up like Roach or still end up getting robbed because that's exactly what happened with him and Devin Haney. He beat Devin Haney, but I told everyone that I was with. I was at a bar in the Caribbean, and I was drunk as shit, and I hosted the fight, and I was with my boys and some of my family, and we were chilling. And I told everyone in that bar at that time, while I was going live, I said, Lomachenko is going to lose a decision to Devin Haney. And everybody was like, that's bullshit. Lomachenko's going to smoke this boy. The only way he smokes him and wins, he has to stop him or drop him or knock him out. And guess what? He lost, just like I said he would. Why? Because politics exists in our sport. Okay? Because Devin Haney's young, Devin Haney can be more marketable. Had he lost to Lomachenko, there probably would have never been a Ryan Garcia fight to begin with. You guys understand that. So they had to market Devin Haney, had to pass, had to take him to the next level because he's that next marketable fight because he has a bigger fight in the midst between two younger fighters. Not this old guy that won't even be here next year anyway. Lomachenko has slowed down. Every time I look at Loma, I can see something that has faded away from him. Zhilei Zhang versus Martin Bakole in 2025. Yeah, I'm all for it. Give that guys another opportunity. You know what I mean? And Martin Bakole, Martin, he know what he needs to do. Tank said rematch isn't next, but the one after. Sounds like his team already had a next opponent plan. I guess. I mean, if you say so, coming from someone that was talking to retirement, So Roach got a couple of hits, so he won. They both didn't do anything to me. They fought each other. That's what they both did to each other. Devin Haney win because he was better on the night. That's why Loma was ducking Haney in the first place. Teo also ducked Haney at the time. I don't think so. No. I think Loma did enough to win, but I also think Loma felt that all he needed to do was do what he did to get the decision, which I think was dumb. I think, I'm like, well, why are you thinking that you can do these type of things or win this type of fight based on what you he has to do more. That's all. And he didn't. Did you see Lomachenko's face? Nope. We need to review locker room footage to find out who visited Tank before the fight to know who it was. I thought Haney won by The body punches. I think the body punches in the Loma fight was one of his weapons that he used, but that alone didn't win him the fight for me. No. Loma whooped Haney's ass. That fight, man, stop. It is what it is. But I think that Tank will now take the fight game more seriously. I think they will now look very well, research of who the hell they call cherry picking if they decide to do that again. You know, maybe, maybe not. But I definitely think that Roach has made a name for himself, and Tank has to redeem himself. That's pretty much it. Devin Haney beat the hell out of Lomachenko. Okay, if you say so. Give respect to Devin. He didn't duck anyone. He got beat, but respect. I mean, he's fought a lot of people. The only person he hasn't fought is Tio. Tio and Tank. Roach has an L on his record. Who beat him? Jermell Herring. And Jermell Herring has 5 losses. Which one of those losses was to Shakur Stevenson that I can remember off the top? He got to fight Rayo. Okay. Well, hey, let him fight Rayo then. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, Tank can do better. I think he will do better. I want to see him come back. I want to see what he can do to improve. He said it was him. He did say in the post conference that it was him. He's like, man, that's just me. Oh, that's me. So, whatever was going on with him. But, guys, I'm going to jump off of here. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Be blessed. Have a great Monday. I have more video content to come. Of course, please subscribe. And everyone on the chat in the trenches has been counterpunched. Peace.